Rise from your grave. Power up.
Welcome back to our next segment about the influence of games, right? How can games affect you, and how can ideology affect you? So I kind of want to introduce this by saying maybe we all owe Plato an apology. Ha ha ha. Plato joke, always big with the ladies. To say that media doesn't influence you at all seems disingenuous, and that seems to be a lot of the responses to this video, is to say, well, games don't influence me. The irony is that these people went out of their way to make a video hoping to influence people about this opinion. That irony seems to be lost on them. And by the way, you can look at the billions spent in PR and advertising in America all the time to know that some kind of influence is being felt through ads and propaganda and media, right? I mean, they're not spending billions of dollars because it doesn't work. That would be ridiculous. And besides, is this really an argument that we, and I say we as in gamers, people who play games and love games, is that one we want to make? Do we really want to win an argument by saying that one of the things we love most can't change or influence people in any significant way? If that is our stance, then what chance do video games ever have of being called art or ever being thought of as being important at all? It seems like we sink the ship if we win that argument. I don't know. I don't want to do that. And yet at the same time, just because a game influences you and tells you to do something, that doesn't mean you're going to do it. We're not that simple, right? We know that media and games don't have as a powerful influence as some would like us to believe. And in this way, I think Eric Hoffer can help us out when he says this in his book, The True Believer, on persuasion and coercion. He says, "The truth seems to be that propaganda on its own cannot force its way into unwilling minds. Neither can it inculcate something wholly new, nor can it keep people persuaded once they have ceased to believe. It penetrates only into minds already open, and rather than instill opinion, it articulates and justifies opinions already present in the minds of its recipients. The gifted propagandist brings to a boil ideas and passions already simmering in the minds of his hearers. He echoes their innermost feelings. Where opinion is not coerced, people can be made to believe only in what they already know." Okay, so to sum that up, it's basically, if you were locked in a room with a creationist, no matter how many creationist videos he shows you, that's not going to really turn you into a creationist. If you're a thought-out atheist, that's just not going to happen. So there are limits to propaganda and influence of media too. So now we have to figure out where do we fit in this spectrum here? What can games do and what can't they do? And I think Sequester Zone had a great video about this, right?
Yes, definitely. Sequester Zone, he had a video I like quite a bit. It's called "Are You Suffering from a Gamer Persecution Complex?" The link will be in the description. And in it, he talks about a meta-study he found, a very interesting meta-study of a bunch of studies of the effects of violent games on gamers, or people who played the games. And I guess the main thrust of this is just this point, that no, when you play a violent video game, it does not cause you to be violent. It does not cause you to do a violent act. This is exactly not the point he wants to make. The point made in this meta-study, and the point Sequester Zone wants to make, is that the media affects something more like your worldview. It can slowly affect your worldview, and your worldview may change, and then the change in worldview may affect changes in action. And the main point of the video is that when you watch, in this study, is that what they found when they did this study, or this meta-study of all these other studies, that when people watch a piece of media or play a piece of media, they have kind of three possible three possible reactions to it. So maybe they have ideas, previous ideas affirmed by that piece of media, or they can meet ideas that they outright reject and are repulsed by. But the large majority of people, kind of the creamy intercenter of these two extremes, are people who are ambivalent, ignorant, or apathetic. People who haven't thought out ideas, any ideas concerning these issues. These are the people who are more likely to be, whose worldviews are more likely to be influenced by media, by games, etc., etc. And also maybe why children may be more susceptible, because children haven't thought things through very much. So I guess the point here is that maybe your preconceived notions, the effect of the media depends on your own preconceived notions. And then again, the interesting thrust of this is that being aware, studying philosophy, studying feminism, discussing feminism, this is something that can prevent possible negative influence. And also, in this study, this is people who were, over a long term, it was like 3 weeks or something, they were continuously playing these kind of violent games. I mean, also something that could help is a changing up of your media, a mixing of your media, not always doing one type of thing, mixing a whole bunch of different things. There's not many people just have one type of media. Although Sequester's own, he does talk about some people who will only watch horror movies and stuff, but it's also helpful to you to mix up your media. So I really like that video a lot. Definitely check it out if you have time. Do you guys have anything you want to say about that in particular?
I like it.
Yeah. All right. So I have a very silly little essay. Not an essay, a little thing I want to read with this as the background. And please take it with a grain of salt. It's very one-sided, and there are a million points you can object to. That's great. Feel free to object away in the comments, or also you guys, please feel free to object too. So, but this is kind of, after watching this is kind of what I thought of. This is a kind of a way to re-describe the situation that we face in gaming right now. So, have you ever heard the joke about the guy who goes to a restaurant and orders a bacon double cheeseburger, large fries, and because he's really worried about his health, a Diet Coke? I'm sorry to tell you, gaming world, that guy is you. That female maid you had in your party in your last RPG, that's your Diet Coke. What's that? I hear you object. Hey, what about Samus? I love Metroid. Great. But the problem is that Samus is your salad between your FP sausage and your GTA Big Mac. So don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong at all. I love cheeseburgers. But the gaming community needs to develop some more complex tastes. If we don't, we're going to get stuck with an unbalanced diet of media. Yeah, carrot sticks are not quite as attractive as fried cheese. I know. But they can be good for you, and you can develop a taste for them. If you don't like plain green salad, why not try it first with some Caesar dressing? Look at that. You have a recipe for Zero Suit Samus. Who knows? You may even find a new favorite food. I've really come to love tofu after living in Japan. It's great. Are you so sure you wouldn't enjoy something you consider girly? Or maybe too arty or boring? You'd be surprised what a good gourmet chef can do for food you may have despised all of your life. And don't worry. No one's going to take away your cheeseburgers and your greasy pizzas. Warcorpse, Anita doesn't want you to become a vegetarian. Jordan Owen, it is possible to enjoy a big juicy steak while being aware of its more pernicious aspects. It's even possible for a steak to be your favorite food while being aware of that an all-day, everyday steak diet is dangerous for your health. All that I'm trying to say with this stupid little thing is that if you're willing to take into account the health risks of some of your favorite foods, and food really is one of the best things in life, it's one of the greatest pleasures in life, then there's no need to be so put off about some points being made in this dialogue about feminism. and games. That's it.
Cool.
Yes.
First thing people ever say, yes, mixing up your media, cool. First thing people are going to say in the comments is Metroid was fun not because Samus was a woman, but because of its good gameplay. First response you're going to get. And a lot of other people are going to say, well, listen, the problem isn't that we need to kind of force ourselves to play games with female characters, whereas we need people to be making games with female characters that are fun.
It's interesting. I was considering all those points. I almost thought of it like this. I was going to put this in the essay originally. It was going to be something like this. I mean, I guess you're right. Where is the blame here? It's almost like going to McDonald's and saying, where is my vegetarian salad? But isn't it kind of interesting? Like, so maybe McDonald's, the media makers, have an effect on you and what they dish out. It's also interesting to ask the question, what is your effect on the media? I mean, so if everybody went to McDonald's every day asking for a vegetarian salad, these guys would be pumping out vegetarian salads before you know it, right? It kind of the sword goes both ways. Although I really get that point, I really do.
Yeah. Well, that's a pretty good point. The argument could be made. The reason why there's so many, God, who's that guy who he said the majority of video game characters, main characters now are like white, slightly stubbly men in their late 20s to mid 30s.
Yes, that's everywhere.
Yeah, maybe this is not 100% a product of the industry.
I don't know where to lay it. I mean, I watch the Jimquisition. I see the industry doing a lot of weird, crazy stuff, but like it almost seems like they're also searching for markets, and they're trying too. I mean, the reason I put in like having to force yourself, that whole developing a taste for carrot sticks and stuff like this, it's just the reason I put that in there is because I kind of felt like, I mean, like some people say, well, I'll eat a salad as soon as they make a salad that tastes like a cheeseburger. You know what I mean? Like, and, I mean, that's the thing. Like, sure, I'll play a game with a girl as long as it tastes like a cheeseburger. I kind of wanted to prevent that objection a little bit. In other words, like, I mean, my Samus has to have, prostitutes hanging off of her, right? before I play. I mean, but I guess it's a very fair objection to make.
Yeah.
That's why I said like you need to add Caesar dressing to Samus to make her Zero Suit Samus. So it's very pro. It's not anti. I love Caesar salad, by the way. So I think Zero Suit Samus is kind of a Caesar salad with croutons and cheese.
You could actually take that metaphor to mean that the video game market could actually benefit from introducing gamers different tastes, and this would be a bigger market of foods for them to sell.
Yeah.
Instead of having the simplified menu at McDonald's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
They'd actually have a menu where you could actually choose from, like various things.
Yeah.
I mean, can I ask you guys both a question? Oh, go ahead.
Wrapping?
Oh, okay. Let's finish it up.
Okay.
What's your favorite food, by the way? Can I finish? Each of you, what's your favorite food?
Sawa.
Cool.
My favorite food is pizza, without a doubt.
Yeah, okay. I'm in pizza, too. Great.
I'm the only person who likes a nice blue fish.
More than pizza?
That's what I'm gonna have to develop a taste for if I ever eat that one.
I could not.
What Suit Samus is that?
Every day, I'd get sick. I could certainly eat pizza every day.
Right. Well, let's continue. Let's continue this discussion in the next video where we wrap up odds and ends and stuff. All right. I think we're out of time, right, Jesse? All right. Catch you next time.